Hey, I'm Rex Goudie, and you're watching 24 Hours Podcast.
T-minus 4, 3, 2, 1.
Following is a 24 Hours Podcast.
You might have seen the man, you might have heard the man, Rex Goudie. Welcome.
Good to be here.
Let me start off with something very cliche. How's the ride been so far?
It's been pretty fun, no doubt about it. Obviously there's ups and downs with different things that happen, and different things personally that happen. But all in all, it's been a great learning experience so far, and I felt when we went in recording this time, I knew a lot more.
The first album, I mean, you got Juno nominees for this. I mean, that must just be an unbelievable thing for a kid who not that long ago was, this was just a dream.
Yeah, definitely. When those nominations came through, when I was told about that, I mean, I heard something about East Coast Music Awards, and that's huge too. Because I mean, growing up in the East Coast, I mean, the East Coast Music Awards are the king of all kings. But getting nominated for 2 Junos, especially in the categories I was in, that was not only humbling, but definitely a boost to the confidence, I guess, too.
Now, speaking of humbling, you seem fairly humble, fairly low-key, but it's been quite a spectacular journey that you've had. What keeps you grounded?
Home, for sure. Yeah, 'cause, I mean, I am who I am. When I goes home to Burlington, Newfoundland, I'm Dwight Goudie's son. I'm just, I'm Roy Goudie's grandson. That's how I'm known. And that's probably the best part about it. When you go home and you're treated like nothing happened, and that's pretty good.
You're treated like that, but something very significant happened. So what must it have been like in Newfoundland? Because I mean, there's a real sense of family in the Maritimes and Atlantic Canada that perhaps we don't see out here in the West. What happened when you first went home after the Canadian Idol experience was all over?
It got pretty huge, and they had a Rex Goudie Day in Burlington, and that was pretty big. I got the parade with the fire truck. Our fire truck, by the way, is an 81 Chev pickup, painted red with a rack in the back. Yeah. But it had the parade around the town, and I drove my dump truck actually in the parade. That was a good laugh. But after that, it cooled down a bit. But still in other parts of the province, when I go down home to Newfoundland, it gets pretty hectic. But in my hometown, it's pretty low key. I can pretty much be who I am.
How do you find the performance? I mean, I know that you had one venue where you played in front of like 7,000 people.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you put that in perspective?
That was pretty crazy. In Mile One Stadium, it was my first concert I ever did, and the place was blocked, like 7,500 people or something like that. But playing live music, you get that connection instantly from your music to yourself to the fans, and that's what you got to try to milk. And I felt like I was kind of coming on my stride the last part of the last tour I did, the Airports tour, where I toured 6 states in Newfoundland. I had a lot of fun playing the shows there because you could actually feel the music. It was pretty good.
Let's talk about the new album, Look Closer. What did you employ, what methods did you employ in this album that perhaps we didn't see from your debut?
Well, the biggest difference I think so far is everything on this album is real. Everything is being played by a live musician. Eric Paul from Thornley played the drums. Kaylee Gauthier from Thornley played bass on it. Jeremy Kelly, who usually plays with Edwin, he played guitar on it. Ian played some guitar on it. My producer, Jeff Delzio, who's an amazing drummer, played with, I don't know if you remember a band, Britain, back in the days of Harum Scarum. Jeff was the drummer. Okay. But he played on it for a while, and I got a chance to play on it myself. And that was interesting to go in and see everything recorded live and hear everything come together piece by piece rather than having something programmed and building around that. That was pretty interesting for sure.
Now, do you find that there's more depth to you, that there's more things that will come out in future releases, or I mean, have you pretty much found the niche of what it is you want to perform?
Well, definitely. Well, it's like anything with music, and you see that in the careers of people like Neil Young. I'm not nowhere near comparing myself to Neil Young. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, he explored what he wanted to do. At one point, he put out a country album, for Lord's sake. I mean, he explored everything that he wanted to do and stuck with what he liked most. And I think that's what I'm attempting to do now, is exploring where I want to go with my music career. But definitely with this album, it's where I want to be right now, as an artist, is doing this style of music.
The Canadian music scene is just chock full of spectacular acts. I mean, it's really something to boast. Do you feel a great sense of pride to be part of the Canadian music scene?
Oh, definitely. We got the best music scene in the world. There's no doubt about it. When you got bands like Nickelback are selling millions and millions of records worldwide, and they're making simple music, and that's the best part about it. When you get bands coming up now like Billy Talent, who are being huge. You got bands of old, like the band, or basically originally from Canada. Neil Young is a Canadian. You had the Guess Who were great back in the 70s. and you know, Tragically Hip, all those bands that have come up, we've got definitely the best music scene in the world, and it's not only because of our great music, but it's because of everything we got to deal with. Not only do we have to, you know, try to contend with everybody else is in the Canadian music scene, but we're dealing with everybody in the world too. We're so influenced by the States and everything. But I think that's what makes us stronger, though.
Now, when you become a national, you know, success story like you have, you know, obviously all eyes are on you, and everything about you comes up for discussion. Your personal life was, you know, discussed. How do you find? Did you find that now the fans are willing to accept? You know, there's a public you and there's a private you, and you know, do they keep them separated?
And I haven't had. I'm lucky enough that I haven't had too many problems with that. Like nobody has been taking pictures into my windows or anything like that. I mean, you know, they wouldn't get away with it anyway. But I'm lucky enough that I've kept anything on a personal level pretty low key and been pretty professional about with everything been going on in the music industry. You know, I try to make the music speak for itself and not anything I'm doing offshoot. I mean, make the music sell itself and not the fact that you know got in a fight in a bar or something like that. I mean, that's the wrong way to go about things, I think.
Where do you see yourself? Do you plan goals for yourself, like a 1-year goal, a 3-year goal, or do you just kind of take it as it comes?
I take it day by day, to be honest with you, because I mean the way it is in the music industry, you never know when the next big thing is going to come along and kind of change music and make all of us guys obsolete. You know, the Killers are doing that now, and there's different bands around that are doing it in their own respect. But I try to take it day by day and enjoy every chance I get to play and play in front of people.
Let me ask you this, Rex. You've probably been interviewed countless times across the country over the last couple of years. What's something you're dying to answer that no one's ever asked you? Tell me something about you that our viewers would be really surprised to learn.
Well, a lot of people know exactly where I'm from, but I've been 3 interviews this morning that didn't know I was from. I'm from Newfoundland. My home is Newfoundland, but I was born in Dawson Creek.
Dawson Creek, BC.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
My parents were basically from the same area in Newfoundland, Burlington, Bay Vert. We're working in Quintet Coal in Tumla Ridge, and I was born in Dawson Creek, premature, 1 month premature.
So do you call yourself a BC guy? You call yourself
no, I'm a Newf. I'm a true blue. Yeah.
Okay. And as you tour the country, do you see that? Are there any? Like, I've never been to that part of Canada. Are there any parallels between the West Coast and the East Coast?
Well, you guys got bigger mountains for sure, and it's absolutely gorgeous out here. Driving, that's what I do like about Vancouver. Everything is so pretty, and everything is so lush with vegetation and everything. It's not like Toronto. Toronto is basically your day-to-day asphalt playground, but out here, and it's a lot of the same thing in my neck of the woods. Like there's a lot of forests that you can get on a skidoo and go in the woods whenever you feel like it. You can go snowboarding in the wintertime whenever you feel like it. And you can take walks and enjoy nature. And I feel that people in Ontario, in southern Ontario, and those places don't get a chance to do that and don't understand the love we have for the land that we have around us.
Well, you're good peoples, and it's been great talking to you.
Thanks very much,
Rex Goudie.
Appreciate it.
All right. 24hours.ca